it's not easy to cut off a parent, but once you realize that they are just taking advantage of you, then there are boundaries that have to be kept in place at that point.
Hello, what's up, everyone? Good morning, and wishing you all a happy Friday. With respect to MS Billionaire, I call her Miss Billionaire. This girl will not see her profile so for TikTok. I just want ask Una question after you've listened and watched her story. The question is, would you cut off your father or your mother, your brother, your sister? I mean, a family member that is very, very close to you, maybe not very close to you, but blood-related family member, immediate family member. Would you cut them off because then too they ask you for money? Maybe just to ask you for money, as in then they disturb your life incessantly for money.
Today marks 1 month since I officially cut off my dad completely from my life. I ended up blocking him as well, and this is mostly because of the financial manipulation that has been happening ever since from a long time ago. And this decision was actually not a very easy one because it's not easy to cut off a parent, but once you realize that they are just taking advantage of you, then there are boundaries that have to be kept in place at that point. I created this page mostly to talk or to encourage people just like me who are outside of their country and trying to make a better life for themselves. And especially for me, I focus on the financial aspect because we're all trying to just get away from poverty. Part 2 of why I cut off my dad completely. I got cut off in the previous video. I forgot to put more than 60 seconds. Anyway, ever since I was growing up, my dad didn't seem to be a financially literate person, and I always saw all the bad choices that he made with money. And that's when I took it upon myself to study, give myself the necessary education that I need, so that when it comes, or when the time comes where I have my money, I will be able to know how to handle it, and I'll be able to make wiser decisions compared to my dad. So, backstory of where all this financial manipulation started. I remember one time, before I left the country the first time, and I was going to Qatar the first time. I didn't tell anyone that I was planning to leave the country. I just organized myself. I was buying things, suitcases, everything for myself with my own money. I did not have a job at the time. I was just doing part-time gigs. I used to be a waitress. I used to do so many little things at the time, so I could be able to save money and leave, because I knew my parents at the time, they were not financially capable of taking care of the needs that I needed at the time. So I just had to do what I had to do. And at the time, my dad was going through some financial troubles, which most people do, it's a normal, and he asked me for a loan. Now, this is one of the lessons, if anyone is going to take from me, is take loans very seriously. Even if it's with your family members, get a contract if you have to. Or if you're going to loan a family member money, just loan them an amount you're comfortable with losing. So my dad borrowed me some money, and he was like, I'm going to return this money to you. And I was like, please make sure you return this money because I really need to use it for something urgent. And he was like, it's okay, no problem. So the day came where he was supposed to return the money to me, and when I kept asking him for the money, he was like, I'll give it to you tomorrow, I'll give it to you tomorrow. And mind you, I'm asking him for this money when I know he has already received his salary, so he has money. Even I can see from his wallet, he has a lot of money in his wallet. So I asked him about it the first time. He tells me, okay, he's gonna give me. I asked him the second time, same thing. Third time, he got pissed, and he started shouting at me, and he's like, why are you asking me for this money? I already told you I'm going to give you, blah blah blah. And I told him, I really need this money today because you borrowed this money from me, you didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and you promised to give it back to me on this date. Now this date has already passed, and you have not returned the money to me, so kindly return the money that you borrowed from me. And he took his wallet, he removed the money, he threw it on the floor, and he told me, with his words, he told me, never again should you give me your money. Meaning he never wants my money ever again. I remember taking that money from the ground. I cried so much that day because I was asking myself, why would so anyway, I had to cut that off. So I cried so much that day, and I was questioning myself, like, why would he even treat me like that? This is money you have borrowed, you're supposed to return, and why would he even return the money in such a way? And I remember telling my mom about the whole ordeal, and it was insane. So anyway, I ended up going to Qatar, and I told my family last minute. I think a day before I left is when I told them. And then when I went to Qatar and then I started working, making my own money, and then my dad started asking me for money. And in my mind, I'm like, I thought you told me never to give you money in your whole life, you know? But due to the kindness of my heart, and I'm like, this is my parent, they've already done so many things for me in the past, I'll just help them out, right? So I started sending him money whenever he wanted, I would send him. But my relationship with my dad has never been a good relationship. Like, he would never call me to ask me, how are you doing? You know, how is work? How is everything? That has never been our conversation. So the whole financial manipulation began, where he would only text me when he wants money. He would only text me when he wants something. He would never, and we are thousands of miles away, but he would never call me to ask me, how am I doing? How am I been holding up, you know? But he would constantly text me, ask me, hi, how are you? You know, can you please include me in your budget this month? I need this money for this amount of things a day. I'm going to include screenshots so you can see how our conversations usually go. But at this point, I am tired of the financial manipulation. I am not going to fall into it anymore, and I'm going to make better decisions going forward. I will go no contact with whoever. I don't care if it's my mother, if it's my father. I will go no contact with whoever is crossing my boundaries and who is taking advantage of me. I'm just 26 years old. This is the time I should be making a life for myself. How will I even provide for the kids I'm supposed to have in future if all the money I get is going back? No, I'm sorry, but I'm tired, and this is it.
All right. Here is my moment of analysis. But before that question, wetin this girl do in Papa, is it justifiable? Would you go to such an extent to block your father or your mother or your blood relative, to block them and cut them off from your life because until they ask you for money? Think about that question before you judge this girl, before you talk, say, either the girl, good wetin she do, or good wetin the father do. Before you judge, put yourself in this situation. But wetin I want talk be say, first of all, I understand this girl. E no go easy for am, for everything where she don't go through to make her own money. Now here she tells say she be just 26 years old. And a lot of people feel criticize and say, what about the father? No matter how the father, they ask you for money, now him bring you come this world, now him bring you, maybe him don't they take care of you, don't they suffer for you when you dey small. But according to the girl, him talk say the father no been do such. When we say no been do so, let's just assume, say maybe when the girl come be turn maybe 12, 13, maybe the father start to abandon or neglect him. But we can all agree, well, let's not all agree, because some parents, even when their children are babies, are toddlers, are kids, then still know they take responsibility for that kid. So whether the father was taking care of this girl when she was younger, that one we don't know. It's only for the father to come talk the own side of the story. Why in they misuse and mismanage his money, and they rely and depend on the girl's money. So I can understand the pressure on the girl, especially if you're trying to build your own life. You're trying to work so hard for your money at this young age. And then one of your family member, every time, go just they be parasite, they sap the money. I can understand. But I won't use this medium. Advise those of us where they abroad, where we say maybe your family member or people, they rely on you for their daily bread or for any kind of financial assistance. The advice be this, I beg, if you they support any of your family member with money or anything from house, let them understand. Say this money, say they block. In fact, then they ask you every time, what you go need ask them, they say, how much do you need as you dey so for this your life? How much you need? Where you say, okay, if you want start business, if you want do something where we say you no go ever ask me for money again, or even if you ask me for money that once in a while, how much do you really need? May them tell you how much they need, whether na 10 million, whether na 100 million, so that you go fit plan for that. So once you don't give them that money, anytime, and you go don't make agreement with the see this money where they giving, now the last money I want hustle. The kind of hustle where I want hustle to give you to make sure say you get this money, so that you go stop to ask me for money. Let them understand. And once you don't give them that money, my brother, my sister, if they like, make them call judge. If they like, make them tell God, say you abandon them. That was your conscience. They claim. Why? Because you spell it out to them. Let me know what you want. Do you want to start a business so that you can be self-sufficient? What is it you want to just tell me? I'm going to go through a lot so I can provide that for you, because it's not nice, or it's bothering that every time, every month, you asking me for money for one thing or the other. So I beg. Now the advice I feel give those of us where they are abroad. All right. And to parents, yes, we understand say una been take care of us. We understand say una been do so much for us, but also sabi say we don't grow now. Yes, make we use our church mind help una. Make we use our church mind take care of una. Make una no come put pressure and burden on us just because say now you bring us come into this world. We too, we need life. After all, nobody say we beg to come this world. I don't remember asking my mama or my papa when I did heaven, say, I beg, I won't come to this world through now. I don't remember. So we not been begged to come this world. As we don't come this world through the help of una, make una also understand with us. Say we too, we also want to survive. So when we get our church mind, if we get our church mind, we go do what we can for now. As we don't do what you could for us. So I beg, well, I no one bash this girl, I no one praise them. It's just life. Make we just let them, they like that. Life will happen to anybody. The girl try, at least to send money, giving papa for that period of time where she been sent until she decided cut them off. She tried. You understand? So, anyways, things they happen. People, they go through a lot. For their family relationship, we will never know. It's your boy, the Crackhead, wishing you all a wonderful Friday. Bye for now.